From the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Monday, January 2nd, 2017. I'm Ann Gownley. A state trooper was killed on Friday. 23-year-old trooper Landon Weaver was responding to a domestic complaint on Friday evening in Huntingdon County in central Pennsylvania when he was shot by 32-year-old Jason Robson. Police say he responded for a violation of a protection from abuse order when he was shot. An overnight manhunt ended Saturday morning when they found Robson at an unoccupied mobile home in the area. According to PSP spokesman Corporal Adam Reed, Robson refused orders and threatened officers at the scene, leading police to shoot him. Robson has been arrested more than a dozen times on charges of making threats, assault, theft, and driving on a revoked license. Weaver was assigned to a patrol unit with Troop G in Huntington and joined the department in December of 2015. Governor Tom Wolf offered his condolences to the family, stating, quote, his bravery, his sacrifice, and his willingness to serve, unquote. Weaver was the 97th member of PSP to be killed in the line of duty. Around 3 o'clock this morning, Hazleton police were called to 3rd and Alter Streets for a fight. According to police, a male sustained facial injuries, and the second male, who was located on the scene, sustained lacerations to his facial area and both forearms. Both males were taken to a regional trauma center for treatment. Anyone with information on this incident is asked to call Hazleton Police at 570-459-4940. West Hazleton police are on the lookout for those involved with a burglary last week. According to police, the burglary happened at 18 North Broad Street, the Smart Geek System computer business, sometime overnight between December 28th and December 29th. Anyone with information is asked to call West Hazleton Police at 570-455-3733. All information will be kept strictly confidential. It's winter time, which means those with oil burners in their homes know that they are working overtime to keep their homes warm. But many have experienced oil burner malfunctions over the past several days. WYLN's Aaron Harvey has more on how to keep your home safe and your oil burner in check.
Most people have smoke detectors in their homes, but what about a carbon monoxide detector? CO detectors are just as important to have in your home as smoke detectors are. Today, the Freeland Fire Department responded to a call about an oil burner malfunction in Freeland. Fire Chief of the Freeland Fire Department, Joe Stepanski, says they had to evacuate the home.
We were dispatched to 101 Oak Street for a reported possible oil burner malfunction. Black smoke coming from the chimney. Upon arrival, answered the door by the homeowner, and we evacuated due to some elevated CO readings in the residence.
One person in the home was evaluated by EMS.
They were elevated CO readings, but not dangerous levels. The patient was removed by fire crews and evaluated by EMS, and he'll be able to return to his residence. They did have a detector on the upper floors, and it just didn't activate yet, with the readings being higher in the basement and the first floor.
Stepanski says smoke detectors and CO detectors both save lives.
I know I highly recommend, if you don't have a CO detector, they're most important. They're actually as important as a smoke detector. Both detectors, CO and smoke, save lives.
If you have your heating unit serviced regularly, you shouldn't have a problem.
Everyone should have their heating units serviced and maintained routinely every year. I know it's a cost, but again, if you service them just like you service your vehicles, you have less chance of having any mechanical issues with them.
In Freeland for WYLN News, I'm Aaron Harvey.
Thank you, Aaron. Recyclables can now be placed alongside trash for pickup in McAdoo under a new garbage removal contract awarded by Borough Council. County Waste took over trash collection services in McAdoo officially today. Pickup will be on Mondays and collections will be moved the following day if a holiday falls on a Monday. The contract with County Waste will last 6 years for over $728,000. The contract also includes curbside pickup of recyclables, and residents are encouraged to separate recyclables from their garbage. Customers who have accounts paid in full, the bins will be distributed this month. It's time now for a first look at our forecast. Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is in the Weather Center with the details. Joe, how is our first week in the new year shaping up weather-wise?
Well, overall, things aren't shaping up to be too bad temperature-wise the first couple of days through midweek, but then after that, boy, tell you what, we know what January can hold across northeastern PA. We're going to be looking at some very cold temperatures to talk about. How do 20s for daytime highs sound like? Of the complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few. Ann?
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, details on an annual event to help raise money for those affected by cancer. Plus, it's Medical Monday here on WYLN, so stay tuned from Ting O from Physical Therapy and Balance Centers of Hazleton with tips on how to avoid text neck. Stay tuned.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, video journalists Mike Lula and Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Gary Perna, Abby Piskel, and Aaron Harvey. Sports with Eric DeBerardinis and John Eric Poli, and weather with Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik.
Light up your Wi-Fi for the holidays with super fast, always reliable SCCV Internet. Free for 2 months. Choose the speed you need to brighten the holidays with flawless video streaming and downloads on all your devices. Already an SCCV Internet customer? Ask about our holiday speed upgrade offer. Don't miss these great holiday offers. Visit SCCV online or call your local office and light up your Wi-Fi for 2 months free.
Mike Stower Coal and Oil Fuel Delivery with automatic delivery and budget plans available. 24-hour furnace service. Discount pricing for businesses and restaurants. Call them for a quote. Also, propane is now available, with a portion of the annual proceeds going to the Cancer Foundation for breast cancer awareness. Accepting major credit cards. Call 570-636-0503. StowerCoalAndOil.com.
Welcome back here to WYLN News. I'm Ann Gownley, and I am joined by Tammy Martin of Freeland, an organizer and event planner for the 20th annual Country for a Cure, previously known as the Mayor's Dinner Dance. 20 years of raising money for those affected by cancer in the area. How does that make you feel?
Overwhelmed. I never in my wildest dreams thought we would see 20 years. To date, we've already raised and donated over $98,000 to those battling cancer. To me, it's very personal. Anyone who knows me knows that this was started when I lost my father-in-law, and then my husband, and then my father. So to me, this is very personal, and I'm very honored to say, thanks to the Slusser Law Firm and Moore & Associates Accountants, we got our 501c3 this year, so we're going to go bigger and better with it.
Tell us a little about the event itself. There is lots happening, lots of great food, lots of great music. Tell us about this year's.
This year, as I said, we're going to try to go bigger and better than we have been for the past 19 years. It's being held at the Freeland Event Center, as it has been in the past 6 years. It's catered by J. Paul B. Catering from Freeland. He's wonderful. He's done a wonderful job for us. We have Music Master Entertainment, we have North of 40, we have Ostrich Hat, there's Tricky Trays, 50/50s. It's just a great night to get out, meet your friends. It's the end of January. What's there to do at the end of January? Holidays are over. You know, you're looking forward to something to do. It's a great night out, and it raises money for a great cause.
And each year you come up with thousands of dollars that these people have donated, and to give it to those families, and I know that you help do that. What does that mean to you to see their faces when they're chosen and they get to receive the money?
Honestly, many of them don't even know they're getting it. I get contacted throughout the year, hey, I have a friend, hey, I have a relative, that's battling cancer. Do you think maybe you can help them? Every year we make a list, and I will try to help as many of those on the list as I possibly can. So when they don't know they're receiving it, someone in their family or a friend of theirs, what we do is we contact them and we tell them, okay, hey, can you set something up so we can meet with them? Last year I met with 3 people, had no idea we were going to show up. When I walked into their house, they kind of looked at me, you know, they knew who I was, but they had no idea why I was there. And just the feeling I get, and I always tell everybody at my dinner dance, I feel guilty. I feel guilty because we work so hard to raise all this money, and I'm the only one who gets to see the end result. I will never tell people publicly who gets the money for the privacy of the person who's getting it. If they want to tell people, that's perfectly fine. But for me to be able to go in and know that this event that was started 20 years ago makes such an impact on their lives. I've got to hear the stories years later. You know, maybe I would have donated money to someone 4 years ago. I see them 4 years later, and I get to hear the success story, that they never gave up the fight. They're cancer-free. That's what I want. I want us to be able to do this till there's no need to do it anymore. I want to be able to hear that there's a cure.
When you see the people that are showing up and the amount of people, they come in hundreds to this event, it means, I'm sure, a lot to you to see it start from the ground up and to where it is now. Is there anything you'd like to say to those who have been a constant event goer here for the Country for a Cure, for the Mayor's Dinner Dance, which is now the same thing, for those that have been coming each and every year, and to those who maybe don't know about this? Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
I know when I stand up there at the beginning of the night for the dinner dance and I look out into that crowd, there are so many people who have been there from the first event we had 20 years ago. It just warms my heart to know that it's not only important to me, it's important to them. It's important to our entire area to help others. I mean, that's what life's about, helping others. You know, there's so much nastiness and violence in this world. When you can look out into a crowd of 335 people who are all there for the same reason, they're all there to help their neighbors. That is the greatest feeling ever. And I am just so fortunate that they continue to come back, they continue to support this event. And for those who have never been there, if you don't know what it's all about, ask someone who was. Or better yet, join us this year. 20 years, we are going to make this bigger and better, and we are going to make this event something that people are going to talk about in years to come.
Tickets, how can people come to the event?
The tickets are available now for purchase. They can contact me at 570-956-4940 or my daughter Amanda at 570-956-9297. We also have a Facebook page for it, 20th Annual Country for a Cure, if you want to check out pictures from previous years on it. You could just text me, call me, Facebook me, any way you want to get a hold of me. We will gladly get the tickets to you.
And I know the tickets sell out quick, so you definitely want to give a call, send a text, check out Facebook, and get a hold of some of these tickets, because it's always a great time. I talk to you always after the event and how much fun it is and how much money is really raised throughout this event. So, Tammy, I want to thank you on behalf of everyone affected by cancer, just to see that you are pulling through, and the rest of the committee that helps put this together to help make days a little bit brighter for a lot of people. And once again, the Country for a Cure, it's the 20th annual. It's held on January 28th at the Wyln Event Center. Cocktail hour starts at 5, dinner at 6 p.m. Lots of music, tricky trays, and if you want those tickets, make sure to check out Facebook to give Tammy or Amanda a phone call, or you can message them on Facebook. Stay tuned. More news is coming your way here on WYLN. All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Minutes away. That's right, you're just minutes away from a great deal on a new car, truck, or SUV from Barber Ford. Two great locations, Exeter and Hazleton. The best deals on America's #1 brand are just 19 minutes from Scranton, 15 minutes from Wilkes-Barre, 12 minutes from Old Forge, 18 minutes from Mountaintop, and 28 minutes from Berwick. Barber Ford in Exeter and Barber Ford in Hazleton. Start your new car search today at barberautogroup.com, where nobody but nobody sells for less.
The Victoria Story's a glorious story, the sweetest that's ever been told. They found they were handy at making fine candy for family and friends to behold. Word spread through the land that Victoria's candies would one day be leading the rest. Now that day is here, for the facts are quite clear that Victoria's candies are best.
Hopefully everyone had a good new year, and now we start 2017. We've started 2017 on a relatively mild note, but don't get too used to that because we have some very cold weather to talk about in our forecast. Before all is said and done, we're going to be struggling just to make it out of the 20s for daytime high temperatures. But at least we have one more day where temperatures will be fairly mild. But like I said, after that, things are going to start to go downhill across our area. Temperature-wise outside, I'm not doing too bad this time of year considering we are in January. We'll continue to remain, for the most part, in the 30s. Humidity practically coming in at 100%. Keep in mind there's going to be some areas of fog out there, drizzle also. So if you happen to be traveling out there, just give yourself some extra time so you can reach your destination safely. And the rainfall amount, it wasn't a whole lot, generally about 1/10 of an inch across our area. Temperature-wise, how did we do today? Notice we started out that morning low of 30 degrees. And of course, we saw some of that freezing rain because of those colder temperatures. But then temperatures did manage to get above freezing, and we did get up to 34 degrees for the high. Wind gusts coming in at 22 miles per hour. And for the most part, the wind's averaging anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour. Throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you know, these numbers aren't too bad for this time of year, especially for January. You can't really beat it. Temperatures in the 30s, some areas in the lower 40s. We all know what January holds across our area. Just about any type of weather can occur, but these numbers will take it, and you're going to like these numbers if you like those mild temperatures. If you like the cold temperatures, we got those in the 7-day forecast. And again, we got pretty much overcast skies, some fog, some drizzle, and a few showers. The winds throughout our area, again, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's about it. Here's a look at the Fairway Subaru 7-day forecast. Fairway Subaru is proud to support Make-A-Wish Foundation of Greater Pennsylvania with a $250 Subaru donation in connection with the Share the Love event, helping to share even more love right here in our community through January the 3rd. So we still have some more rain around for tomorrow and some drizzle, maybe some fog, still in the 40s, so it'll still be very mild. And then as we go into our Wednesday, mix of clouds and sunshine, it'll be colder, but not too bad, 37. And then after that, that's when the extreme cold hits us. Ending part of the week, going into the weekend and early next week, there's those high temperatures, only managing to make it up into the 20s and some of those overnight lows dropping down into the teens. We'll have more for you coming up after this break.
Mike Stower Coal and Oil Fuel Delivery with automatic delivery and budget plans available. 24-hour furnace service. Discount pricing for businesses and restaurants. Call them for a quote. Also, propane is now available, with a portion of the annual proceeds going to the Cancer Foundation for breast cancer awareness. Accepting major credit cards. Call 570-636-0503. StowerCoalAndOil.com.
Light up your Wi-Fi for the holidays with super fast, always reliable SECV Internet. Free for 2 months. Choose the speed you need to brighten the holidays with flawless video streaming and downloads on all your devices. Already an SECV Internet customer? Ask about our holiday speed upgrade offer. Don't miss these great holiday offers. Visit SCCV online or call your local office and light up your Wi-Fi for 2 months free.
Most people worry about carpal tunnel and arthritis when you find yourself texting and playing on your cell phone for hours on end. But did you ever hear of text neck? Tingo from Physical Therapy and Balance Centers of Hazleton has details on how to prevent getting the dreaded text neck.
Hi, this is Ting O.
I'm Kathy O from Physical Therapy and Balance Center.
And welcome to Medical Monday. Today we're talking about one of the problems that is happening with medical technology. I don't know if you've noticed, but everywhere we go these days we come across people like this, either texting, surfing the net, or playing games like Kathy is right now. The problem is our head isn't designed to be like that, and there's a lot of people that have been developing problems with their neck and shoulders and resulting in strains and pains in the area. It's happened enough that it's now become known as text neck. When our head is straight up and down, it actually weighs around about 10 to 12 pounds. So when your head is straight up and down, it's directly above your shoulders, and there's very minimal muscle force that needs to be used to hold your head upright. But researchers have actually found that when we get into the texting position, the weight of the head actually exerts a 60-pound pressure on the muscles of the neck and shoulders. So over time, that really creates a lot of strain on the shoulders and the joints and the discs of the neck, resulting in a lot of people developing problems with neck strains, discal injuries, and also muscle strains. So aside from spending less time on the cell phone, what can you do? One is make sure that you take a break every now and then. Most people recommend around about 20-30 minutes. Make sure you stop, get up into a nice straight position, roll your shoulders, stretch your neck. Do something aside from letting your head down. And what that does is it gives the muscles a break and lets them reset so that they're ready for the next bout. Number two, you can bring the tablet or the cell phone up to your eyes. Now that is something that can be difficult if you're not used to it, but there's actually an app for that, would you believe? The app is called Text Neck Indicator. What it does is it gives you a little red face on the side of your cell phone, and when it's at an angle that's good for reading, it'll actually light up green. If it's at an angle where you're at risk of developing neck pains, it'll light up red, so it'll give you an indicator of what it's like to be in a good posture. And number three, obviously look after your neck. If you're going to be on the phone a lot, make sure you get those neck muscles looked after. Go visit a body worker, physical therapist, massage therapist, chiropractor, and make sure that you're ready for your daily stresses that you put on your neck.
Call Physical Therapy and Balance Centers for a free 20-minute question and answer session. 501-1808. Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, 1324 North Church Street in Hazel Township, or visit them online at hazeltonpt.com.
Northeast Gold and Silver inside the Churchill Mall is paying cash for gold and silver. Top dollar for silver coins. National currency. Fine and sterling flatware. Stop in or call them at 570-497-4177.
Sal's Septic Service for cesspools and septic tank cleaning, and Marola's Garage for car and truck inspection and repairs. If it has wheels, Marola's can fix it. Call Sal's Septic and Marola's Garage at 570-956-4782.
Well, it's officially 2017, so first off, Happy New Year, everyone. And speaking of the new year, Joe Maddon and the Chicago Cubs must be happy that it's a new year and the number 108 is behind them.
Last baseball season, the Cubs were the favorites at the beginning of the year, and the number 108 circled the team. Every conversation the Cubs were involved in, the topic of it being 108 years since the Cubs last won a World Series came up. Then the Cubs did it. They won the World Series in dramatic fashion by overcoming a 3-1 deficit and winning Game 7 in extra innings. The 108-year span without a championship was all over, and all Joe Maddon could think about was 108.
I don't know that I've fully absorbed everything that's occurred yet. When we got on the field after winning the scrum on the field where everybody's hugging one another and kind of crying a little bit, it was pretty, that's when it really first hits you how ominous it is. And my first thought was in 108 years, and all the people that were impacted by that, and then beyond that, my family, my coaching staff, the organization, the ownership, etc. Those were in the thoughts, but 108 years was my first thought.
Ken Rosenthal of Fox Sports was in Cleveland for Game 7, and when the Cubs won it all he could think about was 108.
It was quite something. Obviously, I've been covering this sport for a while, and anyone who's followed baseball for a while started to wonder if it would ever happen in our lifetimes. And to see it finally happen, to see Chicago so overjoyed, it was really special. And I will never forget, obviously, the World Series, but when they won the National League title in Chicago that night at Wrigley and then in the streets, it was just a scene that was unforgettable.
Other baseball analysts had similar reactions.
I've always said that, at least to myself, that when the Cubs win the World Series, it's the greatest story that any of us have ever written. And that's precisely what it turned out to be. As baseball writers, we're not allowed to root for anything, but quietly we're allowed to root for a great story. And when a team wins for the first time since 1908, and it beats a team that hasn't won the World Series since 1948, and then you get this epic Game 7, one of the greatest games I've ever seen, and I've seen 3,500 games in my life. That was about as big, as important, as great a night as I've ever spent in a major league ballpark.
It was pretty amazing as a fan and as a reporter, watching it and thinking, can they do it? Are they going to get it done? And we were all going over and over again. The 108 years kept popping up all over the place. Joe came to the museum, my grandfather's museum, a couple weeks back, and we drove by the house, and I said, it might have been, I think it was built in 1908, and he stopped. He said, oh my God, 1908. But it was just amazing to watch and see that unfold.
Now 108 is all over, and Joe Madden and the Cubs have a new number to focus on, and that number is 1, as this year will be 1 season since the 2016 championship. Good news for the Cubs, as they'll start the 2017 season off the same way they started off 2016. Favorites to win the World Series.
That's it for sports. Stay tuned.
Chura's Auto Sales has a great line of cars and trucks. Every vehicle is serviced, reconditioned, and inspected. Chura's Auto Sales offers you experience, quality, and service. Stop in today, North Broad Street and Susquehanna, West Hazelton.
It's time to find your copy of the Freeland Progress. Look inside for information on the Pennsylvania Dart Tournament and more. The Freeland Progress is free at locations throughout Freeland, Whitehaven, Blakesley, Berwick, Cunningham, Drums, and the Hazelton area.
This week on Topic A, we're saying goodbye to 2016 and hello to 2017. I'm joined by veteran journalist L.A. Tirone as we run down what happened in 16 and look forward to 2017. Join us on Topic A, only on WYLN.
Well, we still got some rain left over as we head into tomorrow, some drizzle, some areas of fog. We're still going to be up into the 40s, a little bit cooler as we start going into Wednesday in the 30s, a mix of clouds and sun. And then after that, boy, I tell you what, it gets just downright cold. We're going to be looking at high temperatures for the most part in the 20s, and even some of those overnight lows, you can see just how cold they're going to get. We're going to be dropping down generally in the teens, but no big storms the rest of the week once it gets colder.
Well, that's all that matters. And it was a really nice weekend, I guess you could say. There was a little bit of some snow, some cold weather for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but we've had worse. We all know that.
We have had worse. So all that matters is that the weather stays the way it's been going. I understand there's been the rain and the cold and the cloudiness, but that's what you can expect with December. It's not the blizzard.
Yeah, wait till you see the 20s coming up. That's cold.
It makes it seem like it's so exciting, like it's a new movie coming out. Wait till you see this one. All right, well, thanks, Joe.
Yeah, anytime.
And Happy New Year from all of us here at WYLN. Good night, everyone.